Well, good morning, Homestead family. Happy new day. Today's video, we're going to grow a beautiful, variegated honeydew melon. We'll be right back after the break. Well, welcome back, friends. I'm real excited about this little melon today because I guess many of you know I've been dealing with this diabetes for a while now, and Nancy has been really helpful and helping me stick to a diet that is actually doing some good on my sugar levels. But one of the things that I really used to love at night was a little cup of ice cream as a little treat, and I can't have ice cream anymore. So Nancy, she came up with a way to make she'll take melons and fruits and anything that we can grow out here on a homestead, and she can put it in her little magic bullet thing, and she grinds it up and she makes a little it's sort of like Italian ice, but it tastes so good. There's absolutely no sugar added to it, and that's my little treat at night when I'm watching TV if I've been a good boy all day. So luckily I've been a good boy lately. And anyway, this year we wanted to grow this little honeydew melon because I wanted her to make me some of those little cups of ice cream at night. And this is a beautiful little honeydew melon. I got these seeds at johnnyseed.com. If you want to grow some of these for yourself this spring, just go to Johnny Seed and check them out. They got a wide selection of all kinds of really tasty melons, but this is the one I wanted to try out this year. It's a variegated melon, so it's got a beautiful white skin with the green little variegations mixed into the skin, so it kind of makes it look kind of like a leopard. I guess that's where they get the name snow leopard. But it's a pretty little personal melon. The fruit will get maybe 2 pounds, so it's not a real large melon, but it's just a perfect size for Nancy to make us a little treat at night, and nice and sweet. And these things will take probably maybe 70 days or so before they'll be ready to harvest. And we're going to grow these things over in the melon patch right on the earth bed. And what we'll do is I'm going to start these seeds in these little 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch cups. So I wanted these to be a little bit bigger when I planted them, so I didn't want to start them in the little small seed starting trays like this, little seed starting flats. I wanted to step it up into a little bit bigger one to start with, like that. That'll give me a little bit more time for that seedling to get those true leaves on it that are nice and big, so when I transplant it, it'll hit the ground running. And I do this kind of I don't know how many people do it the way I do it, but this is the way I do it. Okay, so what I do is I fill up my my little cups here about halfway full with my regular old container mix that I use in all of my containers out here. So I'll fill it about halfway up with that, and then at that point I will pre-moisten this right here just a little bit. To get the bottom end of this thing wetted down a little bit to kind of get some of the air out of it. And at that point I'll add in a little bit of a layer of my seed starting mix that I use in these little trays here. And I make this myself as well. And of course we have a video for how I make my container mix on our channel, so if you want to see how to make that, it's just mixing in some store-bought stuff together, and it just makes a larger quantity. And also how I make up my seed mix, there's another little video on there that shows you how to do that. That way you have both videos if you want to do this yourself. Anyway, we'll put little bit of the seed starting mix in here, and then I'll put my my seed in each cup, and I only use one seed per cup. I don't want to go back and have to thin them out, so I just use one seed per cup. And once I have the seed in, I'll cover this with a little bit more of the seed starting mix. I like to put maybe a half an inch maybe of the seed starting mix, so when I wet it, it'll compress down to about a quarter of an inch layer over the seeds. So that's the magic number, is about a quarter of an inch. And once I have it all set, then we'll put them over here in the seed starting rack and let these things germinate and grow up, and we'll watch it all along the way as it's maturing, and then we'll take it over to the melon patch, and we'll get some mounds set of these beautiful melons. So I thought you might want to tag along today, and let's just grow it together and watch it all the way out to harvest. So let's get started. Well, there we go. Got our melons in the rack and got them set. So we'll be back in the days ahead, and we'll watch these as they emerge, and all the way out until we put them in the melon patch over there, and we'll do that together. So we'll be back in about a couple of weeks or so, and we'll take a look at the progress that these things have made then. We'll see you soon. Well, welcome back, Homestead family. Our snow leopard honeydew are ready to go. They've been out here for 24 days today. And if you take a look at these up close, you can see that the two cotylene leaves that came up when the plant germinated are no longer needed for the plant. The plant is now living off of true leaves. And whenever I have at least 2 true leaves on my my plants, then I know I'm ready to go ahead and transplant those out into their final destination of either the earth bed or a container or wherever I'm going to put them. But all of these little seedlings have at least 2 true leaves on them, and today we're going to plant these over in our melon patch. And we're going to mound up the each mound with black cow manure, and I'm going to amend that cow manure with some 10 fertilizer. Once I have the mound set and bermed around it, then we'll dig the holes and put in a good 3/4 to a cup of bone meal and blood meal in each hole with each plant. And at that point, we'll be ready to water them in and look forward to these things growing and producing some beautiful little personal sized melons. So let's get this show on the road, because we've got a lot to do. I think it's fixing to rain, so I want to get them in before it rains. Let's get started. Well, we got the job done. It takes two old people to do the work of one young person, right?
Right.
Teamwork, that's what keeps this homestead running. But we got our snow leopard honeydews put in today. We got 10 heels, at least two to three plants in each heel. It's going to be a pretty good year, I think, for melons. And actually, we got a pretty good melon patch going so far. We got, sugar baby watermelons down here, 10 heels of the sugar babies. And not only do we like those, but so do the chickens. So does your mama.
Oh yeah, she loves them.
Yeah, and then we got, these snow leopard honeydews here, 10 heels, and then down yonder we got 5 more heels of cantaloupe. So that gives us a pretty good wide variety of melons, and tomorrow we're going to put in the chummy melons, so that gives us 4 different flavors.
Yep.
So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll be back in the days ahead. We're going to watch this all the way out to harvest, just like all of our videos, and at the end we'll enjoy a little treat together.
Oh yeah.
See you soon. Well, welcome back, friends. Our snow leopard honeydew's been growing right at about 8 weeks today, and each one of our heels, our mounds, are really starting to get some progress. You'll see the runners are all starting to run out. We've had plenty of blooms and a lot of bee activity, which is a good sign. And I'm also starting to see actual melons starting to form. And you can look at one of them right here up close. You can see the melon hiding underneath these leaves here. And these melons are already showing the signs of being variegated. If you look at it, you can see the light green color of the skin, and you'll see some dark green striping mixed in with the skin, which gives it that variegated look, which is why they call it a snow leopard. And these will eventually change colors again in the days ahead, so when they get ripe. So we'll be back here in shortly, and we'll keep our eye on the progress of these beautiful melons until we get to cut some open and do the old taste test. So we'll be back soon. Well, welcome back, friends. It's been 4 weeks since our last update with you, and a few things have changed since then. Just to bring you up to date, we had a really cool spring, and it started to warm up pretty nice, pretty evenly when it finally did start to warm up. And when it did, our melons just took off. They were doing really fantastic. And 4 weeks ago, we had an update, and about 3 days after our last update, it started raining, and we had more rain here than I've seen in several years. It rained for 3 weeks and 4 days straight without stopping, and I'm not talking about sprinkling. I'm talking about heavy deluge of rain. And it really took its toll on our little melon patch. We got some cantaloupes we're pulling out and a couple of the watermelon, but what happened was all of our melons started to burst with so much water. So what we're doing today, we're at the 12-week point of growing these snow leopard honeydew melons, and we're just trying to rescue what we can, because more rain's coming. And we are also entering into our hurricane season here, and with everything so saturated with more rain on the way, we decided to go ahead and get what we could and harvest what we can, and at least try to salvage what we can. So that's where we're at today. Let's get these up off the ground, and we'll head over to the harvest area and clean them up. We'll cut one of them open and see how they taste together. Let's get started. Well, we got what we could. You know, that's one thing I always want to emphasize with folks on growing a garden. Some days, some years, you get a lot of real good harvest on some part of your crop, and then other parts of your crop, they don't do so good that year. It's kind of a yin and yang thing, you know. So it all depends on weather. Nice cool spring going to result in real good potatoes. A real hot spring, not a real good potato year, you know, but it might be something good for other things like okra and things like that, and corn that like the heat. So this year we had to do battle with rain, and we get that down here about every 7 or 8 years. We get an El Nino effect, and when that comes through, I mean, we get a heavy dose of rain. And for things like melons, they can't tolerate a lot of water, which causes them to burst and rot, and it's disappointing, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. But we still got a whole bunch, so I'm good.
We still got enough to enjoy, and I think it could have been better, but this right here is about the typical size that you can expect with these snow leopard honeydews. It's a personal melon, so they don't get real big. And you can see that they have the variegated skin on them. And I would say if you're growing these, what you want to water these, the frequency of that would be about once a week. Don't give them too much water because they'll just burst. So anyway, I thought we'd cut one open, and let's do a little taste test and see how they turned out.
Ooh, that looks pretty.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Bing Bing's whining. He thinks we're fixing to eat something. Well, he knows we're fixing to eat something. He's just wondering if it's something he can have.
He could have melons. It's good for dogs once in a while. It's a special treat.
Yeah, he likes figs too.
We just give him once in a while, not all the time.
Well, they're matured out good enough. You see how well the seeds are doing, so that means they're good. So let me cut these seeds out. Feed that to the chickens right there.
Oh yeah, they love the seeds from anything.
Let me get this, cut the rind off.
Chickens, they love it.
Yep. Chickens will sure like them sweet seeds, won't they? Okay. There's a couple of pieces to do a little taste test with. Okay. I'll give you the big one since you're the sweetest one in the family.
Bing Bing is actually.
He's just a begging. See how you like that.
Good.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's delicious. I was going to ask you, are you going to cut this up and freeze it and then come back and make that, what do you call that?
Like sherbet, like an ice cream sherbet?
Sherbet. I never can say that word good.
Me neither. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I put it in some lemon water, a little bit of lemon when I'm cutting up, when I'm cleaning it, and then that way, and then I freeze them, take it out of the water and freeze them, just because it's got some lemons in there. To preserve it.
You made a video on making that before, but you used the the chummy, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same way. It's just you're using this.
Oh yeah, you could use any kind of melons.
Well, we can give them the little thumbnail and show you that video that she made that sorbet with, and then it's the same exact way to do it. You just use whatever melon you want to use, and I think this will make a real tasty treat, especially on these hot days. I mean, we've had 2 days now where it actually stopped raining, and as soon as it did, the temperatures went to 99 degrees, and today is supposed to be 100 degrees. So, you know, I think that's it for the melon patch, don't you? They can't tolerate that. They're just gonna pop. So anyway, we thank you for watching. I hope that maybe this introduced you to a melon you maybe haven't had before, and it may be something that interests you and you may want to try in your spring garden this year. So we thank you for watching. We hope our video brought a little smile to your face and a little joy to your heart. So until me and Nancy see you next time here on the Homestead, always remember, by His hands we are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
You want a piece, Bing Bing? Oh yeah, I said I want a piece too. Here we go.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
Well, today's video is sponsored by Black Gold Compost Company. Thank you for sponsoring our channel.